If you have Docker images already created for your applications, and these images are hosted in your JFrog registry or Artifactory, and you want to deploy it to Shipa, it can easily be done through your CI/CD pipeline or from your Shipa CLI or command line directly. On this example, we'll be deploying an image that is hosted on JFrog Artifactory. The application is called Go App, as we can see here. Let's go to our Shipa CLI or our Shipa instance and create a new application. We can do that through the Shipa app create command. Let's call it JFrog. And the platform is going to be static. You can learn more about the different platforms or the different options for the app create command either from the documentation as well as from other videos. But it's static basically means that we're going to be deploying into this application a Docker image already created, and it's coming from a registry. And we're going to give it to admin as the owner, and the pool is going to be GKE1 pool, for example. Great, the app is created. If we go to our Shipa instance and we come here, we look for the JFrog app. Great, it's here, it's idle, it has 0 units. So basically it creates like a shell for your application to then be able to receive a Docker container image for your application or your code. In this case, the Docker image coming from our JFrog Artifactory. Now we can do the deployment using the Shipa CLI through the Shipa app deploy. As mentioned before, the app deploy command is the same applied from the CLI as well as from your CI/CD pipeline. So the options that I apply here basically are the same that you can use on your CI/CD pipeline to deploy from your pipeline directly to Shipa your images that are hosted on JFrog Artifactory. Shipa app deploy -i, then it's going to be the address of my Go app, which is this one, and then -a, which is the name of my application. So I'm using Shipa app deploy -i, which is the image, the address of my image, and then which application I want to deploy it to. The deployment process takes a few seconds, so Shipa will pull the image from JFrog Artifactory and will then start deploying directly on the Kubernetes cluster, my GKE1 cluster. If we quickly look at it, we can see the app will come here. Just a little bit more information. We're deploying to GKE1, which is a GKE cluster, which is tied to my pool called GKE1 as well. And here we can see the nodes and everything else. Let's go check on the status. It pulled the image and it's now deploying. It started. Great, and the deployment finished. If we go back to applications now, and we look for our JFrog app, it's here, it's running, and we have the IP or the URL endpoint to access your app. If we try to access it, basically we get Shipa on Artifactory, which is the content of my Go app.